Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, and today I'll be reading multi-character Accessor by me. So let's get into it. Venti. Now it was not Venti's idea to do this. Maybe it was, but you don't remember the way it was brought out. The two of you were quite tipsy, as you had went out for a couple of drinks. And then, before you knew it, the two of you were trying to walk back home, and somehow got there by some miracle above. And then the two of you were cuddled up on the couch, and Venti started spitting some nonsense, and you joined him. And something, and it ended up with you being bent over his lap, with him spanking you. You were blushing, bright red in the face. And Venti, oh, well, he was very red, but you had no idea if that was from the alcohol or what he was doing or both. But if anything, the two of you had a lot of fun. Your laughs and your whines and your other sounds that managed to occur and come up, they were very delightful. It made for a very good party night in your house, except it was the two of you and your drunken hallucinations. If anything, Venti had a lot of fun. But you, poor you, did not remember a single thing in the morning. And if anything, Venti was quite happy about it, not wanting you to remember at all in the slightest, thinking it would be quite embarrassing if you did. Perhaps you did, but you will never know, as whenever he brings it up, you act like nothing happened. But maybe it could also be your way of hiding how shy you got whenever that night was mentioned. At least he would know. Scaramouche. Now, Scaramouche and spanking really was not his idea, at least not in the usual way. But Scaramouche was very shy, you knew that, and you knew he was very hesitant when it came to affection or touch or anything like that in a relationship. In fact, it took you quite a lot to be able to get him to do something, anything of the sort. You loved him dearly, that you did, but it also did not make things any easier for either of you. That's exactly why you find him quite adorable when he's being so bold like this. Wyan, don't talk back to me. Oh? And whatever shall you do if I continue to do so? You say, teasing him, knowing this argument of yours was not very serious, until Skirmish had went behind your back and spanked you, making you blush brightly, and muffled the oncoming noise with your hand. There was a very faint blush on his cheeks, but you knew his face, knew it very well that you were able to see it. Or, or I will spank you, Mayan. I will teach you to be good, he said, and somehow that made a shiver run up your spine. Perhaps you did want to be very bad tonight, for him to teach you. After all, you wanted to see how good of a teacher he was. It was all pure innocent fun, right? Surely there weren't some other hidden intentions. Not that Scaramouche should have any idea about it. He's as innocent as they come, at least when it comes to romance, not other crimes. Xiao. Xiao was quite adorable and very, very clueless. Perhaps as clueless as Scaramouche or even more. He just didn't have his own chance when it came to romance, or trying to be with someone in a relationship of sorts. It felt very weird, very strange. It was something that he had no idea how to deal with, but it was something that he loved as well. But it came with its own set of challenges that he had to overcome, no matter how hard or challenging they could be. He knew that he had to find a way to get past them, past those hurdles that would stop him in his way, to do everything that he wanted. He had no idea what everything he wanted could be, but he knew it had to be important for him to act like this. But one day, you did tell him about spanking and told him that the two of you could try it. And although he was not very enthusiastic, he saw that you were. And God forbid he says no to you. He does not know how. And that's exactly why he actually does it. You're bent over the couch, and he tries to spank you at first, but it's very gentle, very soft. But what else did you expect from Xiao? He may be rough on the outside. He may be a yaksha. He may have fought hundreds of demons and monsters. But to you, he will always be your gentle lover. And he was never able to hurt you, not even in such small, minimal ways. So you'll have to get into practice if you want any results. Tighnari. Tighnari is probably an expert at everything and anything when it came to this. You don't know why, and you have no audacity to ask. Perhaps because you don't want the answers as well. But even if you were not his first love, so you doubt you weren't because he had nothing to talk about when you brought up the topic of past lovers. So you would never know unless you asked very directly. It didn't matter anyway, because right now it meant that they had a lot of experience on what to do, and that made things all the more exciting between the two of you, with him being more than willing to experiment and being very good at it too. Well, it all started with a bet. He would ask you questions, and whatever questions you got wrong, he would spank you. And the bet, well, it would be that you would never reach 10 spanks. That was it. And if you do lose, well, he had not decided on the conditions. Perhaps that was the very giveaway that it was not just a bet to the two of you and you were actually doing this to enjoy yourselves, but it just was. He thought that you would decide the rules and the gains and losses of the bet after you were done, which totally did not make sense and totally did not happen in the end, because the two of you enjoyed yourselves far too much to even remember the origin of this little game you had invented. If anything, you did reach 10 though, and what happened after that was history.